Hello students. Today we're going to study about module 3, which are your writing skills. As we know that I am not very happy with the standard of writing skills that all of you have, especially in your previous papers. I have seen a host of grammatical errors and non-adherence to format as one of the prime reasons why you lose out on marks. So here on, this is the last module that you'll be doing with me. Even though I can finish it off in one single go, we will go step by step. Today I'm going to revise with you report writing, something that we had done in the previous semester. All the writing skills of this module have already been covered by me in the previous semester, line by line. However, I will still go through them. You have to sit with your registers, pens out, and I might dictate you things that you have to write. And at the end of each class I will give you a couple of reports to write, one or two, and I want you to write the report and I will be correcting it once I come back. In case you have not gotten your English registers, then do it on any other notebook. Just keep compiling the homeworks that I keep giving you. Alright? So let's begin. You all know that there are two kinds of reports that one has to write. One is a report of a magazine, the other is that of a newspaper. Newspaper reports and magazine reports are more or less written in the same manner. However, you have to remember that in the byline, it is written by whom. You will be given either in the question what your name is. In case you're not given, you're supposed to write either A, B, C or X, Y, Z. And that's one of the key points that you need to remember in the report writing format. What essentially is someone looking for in a report? So your heading that you will give has to be interesting. It has to be wholesome. It has to cover the entire range of the topic. It also has to be precise, and it has to give a hint of what is there in the report. Then you have the content. In the content, you are marked for your clarity of expression, grammatical accuracy, use of appropriate words and spellings, coherence and relevance of ideas, as well as style of writing. What do you understand by style of writing? Everybody has their own style to write. If you think that you're someone who has an informal style of writing, please adhere to a thesaurus. Look up a dictionary. Find better words. Try avoiding writing in the passive voice. It leads to more errors. Write in the active voice. It leads to less grammatical errors. Expressions. How do you improve your expressions? Through natural usage of language. I keep insisting, keep talking in English. That's how you improve your English, and that's how you'll improve your report writing skills as well. So remember the 2-3 things that I have told you: your report writing title, your grammatical accuracy, your expression, use of appropriate words and spellings, coherence, relevance of ideas, and your writing style. These are a couple of things you need to bear in mind while going in or writing any writing skill, whether it's essay writing, letter writing, or for that matter, report writing. Okay, you can write this down. A well-written report must possess the following traits: adherence to the specifications mentioned. You will be specified what all things to write in the question that is given to you. So adherence to the specification. Analysis of relevant information. Now, in case you are talking about say an event that occurred in front of your eyes and you have to report, then the analysis that you give of the event is extremely important. It cannot be a partial, one-sided analysis of the incident. You have to be careful that you are non-biased, non-prejudiced while reporting. structuring material in a logical and coherent order, presentation in a consistent manner according to the instructions of the brief given in your questions. So there's a logical adherence to the structure of a report. Starting where you'll not put a conclusion. The first paragraph will sum up the brief facts of the case. Second paragraph will elongate on those brief facts. You cannot go on an elongation of the incident and then give a brief summary. That is not how it's done. So writing in a coherent manner, making appropriate conclusions that are supported by evidence and analysis of the report. Okay, now let's go down to the format, which carries a lot of marks. Let's say 40% of the marks will be of adherence to the format. Format of a magazine report: a heading, a descriptive title which is expressive of the contents in the report. Second, the byline. It's written by whom? So it's written by special correspondent or ABC or XYZ. That's your byline. It's written beneath the heading, immediately beneath the heading. Then you leave a line. You have the opening paragraph or the introduction. It may include the 5 W's. It should include the 5 W's. What are the 5 W's? What, why, when, where, along with who. And the last is account of the event in detail. The proper sequence of events that occurred along with their description. It is the main paragraph. It can be split into 2 short paragraphs if required. And then is the conclusion. This will include the description of how the event ended. Understood? After that, you are not supposed to write anything, unlike a letter. After the concluding paragraph, your report ends. So let's go through it again. What all do you have? The heading, the byline, opening paragraph, introduction, that includes the 5 W's, and then you have the account of the event in detail, and then you have the conclusion. So much for the magazine report. Now let's move forward about the newspaper report. A headline, which is again descriptive, expressive. Byline, the very next line, written by whom. Name of the person writing the report along with designation. So XYZ, comma, special correspondent, XYZ, comma, editor. Alright, so that's the byline. It is generally given in the question. Place and date of the reporting. This is what changes in a newspaper report. It is generally mentioned, not mentioned in a magazine report, but in a newspaper report, the place and the date of reporting are mentioned. Opening paragraph, account of the event in detail, and then you have the concluding paragraph, quite similar to a magazine report. So again, let's go through what happens in a newspaper report. You have the heading, you have a byline, you have the place and date of reporting. So if you've seen newspaper reports, it says Kanhe, comma, 8 September 2019. Then you have a colon and then the newspaper brief starts. That is missing in a magazine report, the place and date of reporting. And then you have the opening paragraph, then you have account of the event in detail as well as the concluding paragraph. Okay, now let's go through certain tips that you need to remember to write a report. Most important, make sure you use language which is suitable for the audience that you are addressing. Who are your target audiences? Are they very literate, elite? Are they not so literate? Are they your age group? Are they elder to you? Is it for the older generation of the country, 60s and above? Is it for the retired generation of the country? Is it for army personnel, defense personnel? Who is your targeted audience, and is your language appropriate for the target audience of the report? Make sure you write in paragraphs. Practice previous question papers, or for example practice sample reports as much as possible. I will be giving you a couple. Read the question at least twice. Highlight the important information in your question papers. You are not supposed to write, so what you can do is the last page of your answer scripts can always be used for rough work. Jot down the important points that need to be mentioned in the report. Okay. Presentation has to be very important. Double check for grammatical accuracy and spelling in a report, because it's a formal writing. Marks will be deducted for wrong usage of grammar and non-adherence to spellings. We follow British vocabulary system, so your spellings have to be in adherence to the British vocabulary system. Keep a thesaurus and a dictionary at all times while practicing. Make small sentences. It restricts the scope of grammatical inaccuracies. The smaller the sentences, the briefer the sentences, the lesser is your chance for grammatical inaccuracy. But my advice would be that cover the entire spectrum of sentence making. Use complex and compound sentences, but be careful with your co-joining words and be careful for grammatical inaccuracies. So write down now the question that I wish to give you as an activity for report writing. You are Sandhya / Rohan, an active member of the Animal Lovers Club, which works for the welfare of animals by preventing cruelty to them. Recently, you visited Mahatma Gandhi Animal Care Home. You were pleasantly surprised to see the good treatment given to the animals. Write a report of 500 words of your visit. Now, I want you to write a report for your college magazine about this visit. So again, you are Sandhya / Rohan, an active member of the Animal Lovers Club, which works for the welfare of animals by preventing cruelty to them. Recently, you visited Mahatma Gandhi Animal Care Home. You were pleasantly surprised to see the good treatment given to the animals. Write a report of 500 words on your visit. So this is what is called a report brief. You are in brief told what your name is. You are in brief told what is it that you're supposed to write. You are in brief told which abstract incident you're supposed to cover. So please jot it down when I come back. When all of us are together in class, I will be checking your answers. Also, I wish for you to write a brief newspaper report of the college fest. And you are the college representative, and you have given an article of Army Law College Annual Fest, which was celebrated in the month of February 24th to 27th, and the various activities covered, including the opening as well as the prize distribution valedictorian ceremony that was done. So write a newspaper report. You can name yourself as ABC or XYZ or college representative. So you need not give your names, but your designations are equally important. And so we are done for the newspaper report. So as we have concluded report writing and the different forms of magazine report writing as well as newspaper report writing, we will do one more writing skill, which is called something that you have been doing since the 3rd grade, essay writing. I know we are all aware of the format of essay, but you do not know that the essay comes from the Latin word assaying. Assaying means to attempt to write something. So essay writing is what we do when we are attempting to write on a topic. It's a theoretical form of write-up, and it generally is of a couple of types. Today we'll discuss the different types of essays and its various forms, as well as the writing skills required to write essays. One of the first types of essays are descriptive essays. When you have to describe a place you visited, something you've seen, an incident in detail, very close to report writing but without the rigid formatting of a report. So you have descriptive essays. Then you have narratorial essays. When you're telling a story and you're the narrator, those are narrative essays. When the idea of the essay is to engage the reader and delve into the aspect of fiction, so those are called narrative essays. Or when the essay is written in the form of a story and you are the narrator. And then you have something also known as expositionary essays. Expositionary essays are essays where you present a study which is very balanced in both the aspects. You're presenting both sides of a case, and you present a balanced aspect of the write-up or of the theory or of the fact. So the writer has read and has extensive knowledge about what he or she is writing, presents the advantages, the disadvantages, the pros and the cons of the expositionary essay. So narrative, descriptive, expositionary. You also have something called persuasive essays. In the 18th century, these essays were called polemicals. Now, persuasive essays, as the word suggests, is when you are bringing forth something which you believe in, is your perspective, and you back it up with a lot of factual knowledge, even theoretical knowledge, metaphysical knowledge, or you bring a vast array of knowledge, one-sided, together to put your point of view across on something. So suppose a persuasive essay would be, let's say my take on a movie would be a persuasive essay, because I cannot 100% guarantee its adherence to fact. Those are my analysis, and I will back it up with the facts that suit my analysis, making it therefore a persuasive essay. Clear? So the four types of essays are narratorial essays, descriptive essays, expositionary essays, as well as persuasive essays. Persuasive essays, also known as polemicals. There is absolutely no rigidity in the format of an essay, and you need to have certain writing characteristics to write a very interesting essay. Heading. The heading of an essay has to be catchy. It has to be interesting more than anything else. The essay is not a factual declaration of anything, any incident. It's a personal or a person's opinion, oblique analysis of a situation, incident, theory, or certain social norms. So how is it that you write an essay? The heading has to be a promise of good things to come in the essay. So the heading has to be, yes, it can be obscure. I'm not saying the heading has to be very clear about what you're writing, but it has to be eye captivating. And you can skip out on punctuations like semicolon, colon. Strict adherence of punctuation in newspaper headlines and essay writing is not maintained. So you can give exclamations also in your headings of an essay, but that rarely happens. So you have a heading, you leave a line, and then you have the introduction. Now, unlike other formats like that of a newspaper or a magazine report, an essay does not have to delve on a fact in the beginning of the essay itself. There are a number of authors, especially authors like G.K. Chesterton, the father of essay writing, Francis Bacon, who never get into the topic before the second or the third paragraph. The first paragraph has to involve the reader into the idea of what is going to come forward. Since you're college students, you will be writing essays of say 1,500, 2,000 words in your examination. So please understand this is not a school targeted essay writing. Your introduction has to be captivating. It has to be interesting. It has to be technologically latest. It has to be current, and your writing style has to be something that engages the reader. It's informal, but not that informal as well. It has a very good, thorough balance between informality and formality, because your readership would be your age group. And again, grammatical accuracy is of utmost importance to keep your essay interesting. Okay, let's go through creative essays. Let's talk about the main body, okay, of the essay. This is the main crux of your essays, and it is between the introduction and the conclusion. You can split it into a couple of paragraphs, like 5 or 6 as well. So the most vital and important content of the essay is in the body of the essay. And the mistake that writers do is to go about the body of the essay in a haphazard manner, which leaves the reader confused. So it is important to organize the thoughts and contents of the main body of your essay. Write the information in a systematic flow. Therefore, even if you're not doing a rough point-by-point analysis of the introduction and the conclusion of your essay, my advice to you would be, at the back of your answer scripts, make a point-by-point analysis of how you'll go about the main body of your essay, the main body. And one should do it in a chronological manner. Conclusion. Sometimes a conclusion just mirrors the introductory paragraphs with the wording and the syntax as different. This is a common mistake that people do, thinking that people are not reading the introduction. That's the only thing probably readers read. So your introduction cannot mirror your conclusion. It has to be different. The concluding paragraph has to have diversity and balance in it. The conclusion has to find the balance in the essay. Alright, keep your language simple, crisp. Do not make grammatical mistakes. Use correct punctuation and spellings. Try and have a rough draft prepare writing before the writing of the actual essay. And alright, I'll be giving you certain essay topics, and you will be writing a 2000 word essay on any one of them. The first is popularity of sports in India, then alcohol and nervous system, growing up in poverty, stress impact on health, impact of drug use on human body, what causes racism, RACISM, what causes racism. So on any of these topics you have to write a 2000 word essay, and I will be checking it once we join back together in class. So this is it for today. From your module 3 I covered report writing as well as essay writing. In the next class I will finish with letter writing, and then we'll be complete, and thesis writing will be on. Then we'll be done with your module 3 as well, and Amit sir will take over. So bye bye students.